Hello again. This is the story of my Father Ted caravan. My Father Ted caravan is 16 foot long by I think 8 foot wide, 9 foot wide. If that, it is not big. It is a tiny house. Now when I had my house, I had a bedroom this size, one bedroom, and that was my room. And then of course I had the rest of the house. So to go from that down to this, I did it in stages, and it was all meant to lead to this. I've actually lived in a car as well, so this is upgrade from a car. Now I've got some issues with my caravan. One of them, I have no running water, I have no toilet, I have no shower, I have no heating, apart from my gypsy stove, which has saved my life. Paul has broken the bed because you pull it out in the middle with these slats, and he went and sat on the end of it. You don't do that when you don't weigh 9 stone, you know, and it snapped, so I've got no bed. So question, is it worth fixing it? Because it's a 23-year-old caravan, the parts are pretty much obsolete. How much is it going to cost me to put everything right? So I think what I'm going to have to do is slum it somewhere else or get a new caravan. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to slum it in here for a bit and save up. But this caravan is battered, it's really old, and I can live by myself here, but 2 adults and 2 dogs in a tiny caravan does not work. And you can be the best of friends, and you can still have tension and stress, because we're both private people and we like our own space, and this just does not work. Now bear in mind, when the season starts, it's going to be packed down here, because this is the hard standing, and that's where all the motorhomes will come, and there'll be loads of them. And I don't want to use the public toilets when people are here, because I just don't like to. I don't like public toilets anyway, so I don't know what to do. So I'm thinking, is there a way to use the toilet without actually having a flush on it? I've tried looking at it to see if you can just use it manually, if that makes sense. So you just pour water down after you've been, but it doesn't go down into anything if you do that, so it doesn't work. So I don't know. And then shower, I could boil water and make some kind of shower deal. I don't know what to do. There's no awning with the caravan. It's not in great condition. It's not bad. It's done its job. It's saved my life, but I'm just not feeling it. It's so hard to keep clean. There's too many people here. The dog hairs everywhere. There's just too much. I just can't. I don't know what to do. If anyone's got any suggestions on how do you live in such a tiny little place without getting stressed out, and how do you manage to get some like utilities put in without it costing a fortune? Because it's not worth investing loads of money into a little old caravan, because it's not even towable now. When we moved it, there is no suspension on it, but by the wheel there is some kind of axle or something like that, and on the left hand side it's broken, so that needs to be fixed as well. So it's actually been propped up on bricks on one side. I'm laughing because if the old me could see this, I would have had a breakdown. I just said, you can get lost. If you think I'm selling my house and going to go and live in a Father Ted, and with no water and no toilet and no shower, and I wouldn't have done this. It's crazy how much I've actually given up and accepted as normal. As time's gone on, I've started to accept real wild living as normal. But the old me would not have put up with this. I needed everything. I don't even dry my hair anymore with hair dryers or tongs or nothing. I just let it dry and let it be a wig. And the old me used to love having baths and laying there for a good hour, soaking away, and then laying in bed reading and watching films and things. And my house was lovely. It was really nice, and I had this huge garden that I love growing food and flowers. And I'd love sitting there in summer on the decking and just listening to the birds singing and the neighbours' motorbikes revving and the Galaxy FM radio playing from down the road. And the old me would have seen this and said, you're off to poverty, devastation, absolute misery. And yet the person who I am now says it's quite funny. It's actually quite funny, because if you can accept life raw without all the trappings and all the materialistic things and all the things that you take for granted, then you're really living, you know. What would you do if your water was stopped? What would you do if you had no water supply or heating or bed? What would you do? Most people would crack up. Most people would just lose it. But I've just come to, this is okay, I can handle it now. And if I was to get a house now, or anything remotely comforting, I wouldn't know what to do with myself anymore. I'd feel like I'd really made it in life if I got a house again. And it's funny because I talk like I don't have a choice, and I've always got one. I can always go home. I can always go and rent a house and get a standard job and keep running a house. It's there. I can do it if I want. But why would I have left a life like that just to go back to it if it didn't make me happy in the first place? So as much as I feel a bit cheesed off right now, because I'm trying to share my little battered caravan with somebody else, as much as I feel cheesed off, I'd still rather this than go back. So what does that tell you? I want the land. I'm going to build on it. I'm going to have my luxury house. I'm going to put a picture on of the house that I want. You'll laugh at it, I don't care. That is what I want. It'll be something similar, but it will have a dragon outside the front, an animated dragon that breathes fire at bailiffs and council officials and people like that. So they won't even be able to come in my house. So it'll be crazy. And what I want are hidden panels with secrets. So when I'm long dead, people will go into my house and find things by accident and go, what the hell's that? And they'll never know, because it'll be a mystery. The Incas did it. Right, so I'm going to go. If you've got any suggestions on how or what to do, I've got some ideas, but I can only talk about them once they've been discussed and agreed on. But for now, I've decided that this caravan is not worth investing in. It's just too old, too battered, and too small. I'm going to go. Have a nice day.